The story of Queen. First, we will start by Brian Harold, who was born on May 19 in Jolly in 1947. Then we meet Freddie Mercury on 5th of September in 1946, and John Deacon, 19 August 1951. And in the last one, we have Roger Taylor in 26 July 1949. The genre of Queen was by default rock, although we can also find songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, in which opera and pop appears. So we could say that it had three genres or more. That's why the band is also so well known. It went by the exotic way and turned viral. The song of Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the best known and rare in the. The origins of Queen date back to the beginning of the 60s, when the young guitarist Brian Harold May began playing in a semi-professional group called 1984. Expert on several string instruments, May even designed his own guitars, known later as the May model. Brian May later became part of another band called Smile, with which he released a single.
Created in 1970, the group was formed by Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon. The origins of Queen date back to the beginning of the 60s, when the young guitarist Brian Harold May began playing in a semi-professional group called 1984. Brian May later became part of another band called Smile, with which he realized a single. Unexpectedly, Tim Staffel, the singer of Smile, left the formation. To find his replacement, the members of Smile decided to test the singer of the group Sour Milk Sea, which was none other than Freddie Mercury. At first, they don't wanted to accept him because he was too ugly, but then they realized that they won't find someone better, so they decided to accept him.
Estimated casualties of two of its members, Mercury, who died in 1991, and Deacon, retired in 1997. The truth is that everyone in the band was burned out in 1983, after being one of the road for a solid decade. They all wanted a break. The remaining members, May and Taylor, continued to work under the name of Queen, so the band is still considered active. Before Queen, May and Taylor had played together in the band Smile. Mercury was a fan of this band and then encouraged them to make more elaborate techniques. He joined in 1970 and suggested the name of Queen. Queen first charted in the UK with their second album, Queen 2, in 1947. Sheer Attack and A Night at the Opera in 1975 brought them international success. The latter featured Bohemian Rhapsody, which stayed at number 1 in the UK for 9 weeks, helped popularize the music video format. The album News of the World contained We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, which have become anthems at sporting events. By the early 1980s, Queen were one of the biggest stadium rock bands in the world. Estimates of Queen record sales ranged from 170 million to 300 million records, making them one of the world's selling music artists. In 1990, Queen received the Beat Award of Outstanding Contribution to British Music from the British phonography industry. They were inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame in 2001.
Queen has recorded 14 studio albums, plus several direct and compilations. The best two Queen albums are News of the World and A Night at the Opera. News of the World. It has length of 39 minutes and it has sold over 10 million copies and remains one of the band's best-selling studio albums to date. The three most important songs in this album are We Will Rock You, written by Freddie Mercury, We Are the Champions, written by Brian May, and It's Late, written by the whole band. Now, it seems unnatural to listen to one without the other. Meanwhile, It's Late included some touches of Brian May a time before Eddie Van Halen copied the style and way of playing the guitar. A Night at the Opera. It has length of 33 minutes and the worldwide sales for the album are over 6 million copies. Without a doubt, A Night at the Opera is one of the crown jewels of Queen's catalog. Queen maximized every track of a poor 24-track tape recorder to create a theme that was completely out of this world. Bohemian Rhapsody, Freddie Mercury's masterpiece. Brian May revealed that there was a lot of pressure on his recording. If the album had not succeeded, it is very likely that the group had dissolved.
One of the reasons why Queen is a very important band is that it was the first that composed a song with more than one musical genre. For example, rock, pop, opera, and classic all together. They also have the record of number of people seeing their show at the live aid in 1985, getting 72,000 fans who were at the Wembley, and they estimate 1.9 billion of people watching on television from 130 countries around the world.
The Live Aid. This concert was a success because of the large numbers of people who performed, which made it epic. And then we have Newport Park. This concert was very successful since it was the last one in which the whole band was incomplete. And the last one we have Queen on Fire in the Live at the Bowl. Was recorded live at the Milton News Bowl on 5th of June of 1982 during the Hot Space Tour. During the show, lead guitarist Brian May had a few minor problems with his homemade Red Special guitar. During both the first version of We Will Rock You and Dragon Attack, two of the strings broke and he had to change to his huge Red Special back.
At the end of 1982, all the members of Queen decided to separate temporarily for many discussions that they had. Another important event was the death of Freddie Mercury from AIDS on November 24 of 1991. Moreover, according to the website timetoast.com, on January 1 of 1918, they were for the first time on top of the world, became Queen the most listening band in the world in early 18th. A memorable event in Mercury's life when he made Most Wished Dream true and sang with the Spanish opera singer Montserrat Caballero at the Olympic Games in 1992. They both sang the song on Barcelona.
The most famous song of Queen is Bohemian Rhapsody, and this song is one of the most original pieces of music ever created by a rock band. The song has never lost his magic, and it's still mind-blowing now as it was back then in the 1975. In the explanation that Queen stated, Bohemian Rhapsody is about a young man that has accidentally killed a person or someone, and like Faust, he sold his soul to the devil. Also, this song, Bohemian Rhapsody, has been named the most streamed song from the 20th century, overtaking the song Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Also, Queen's hit, which reached number 1 in the UK in 1975, And then again in the 1991, following Freddie Mercury's death, has now been streamed 1.6 billion times across services including YouTube and Spotify. This song is currently as popular as it has been in a generation, following the release of Queen Biopic, also entitled Bohemian Rhapsody, which has made almost $600 billion at the global box office since its release in November. The song re-entered the UK charts the same month and reached number 45, and for the week of 22 of November was the 11th most streamed song in the world on Spotify.